All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. Yes, McBean, how could it get worse? Alien attacks. I don't know. Uh, Listen, the immigration crisis, guys, is getting out of control. Now politicians are saying something needs to be done. Kathy Hochul, the New York State governor, was saying that, we need federal funding to handle this problem. I got an easy solution, guys. It's a very easy solution. Send the motherfuckers back home. Period. It don't get any easier than that. It doesn't get any direct than that. It's probably the cheaper solution. Put them back on a fucking plane or a bus or put them in a catapult and launch them back to their fucking country. That's as easy as it gets. But instead, we are creating a big fucking problem for ourselves, or rather, the Democrats are creating a big problem. The Republicans are probably sitting by quietly on this one because they're laughing. They're watching this shit fall apart. Bradley, the picture behind me is some artist called, I don't know, Lassie, Labisse. It's Labisse. Some people think that that's the picture from, or the creature from Avatar. But anyway, different subject. Yeah, guys, so I don't understand. Again, again, I'm not like the smartest guy in the world, but I know that to stop the border crisis, you close the borders or shore up all the holes in the border and slow it down, because you're not going to stop immigration. You're not going to stop illegals from coming in. You're just not. But you could slow it the fuck down. Instead, there's a gaping hole open that says, "Hey guys, walk through here," and they're walking on in. And then they get here and go, "Oh, we need help." You need help? Go back to fuck where you came from. But it's bad there. We might have to fight. Then you better screw on some fucking balls and go back to your country and fight. I said, matter of fact, you're in Texas. Go fucking find some Texas nuts, screw them on, and go back. You could Catskill. You could stop the flow. You could slow the flow down. You could slow the flow down, but you'll never stop it. But all right, that's what we needed to be back. We need to be back to a trickle, like a broken faucet, not an open faucet. But instead, the faucet's open and they're flying in. A broken faucet is fine. They trickle in. You catch what you can catch. You let get away what gets away. Done. But to sit there and go, we don't know what to do, and watching this water gushing in, you're just like, what the fuck, man? Yes, Victor Maxwell. Guys, you want to piss YouTube off, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. But if you're for illegals being put in catapults and shot back over the wall, hit the thumbs up. If you're against it, hit the thumbs down. That's the poll for today. So anyway, guys. Yes, Outlaw Jackson. You're right. It's a raging river. Yes, to be fair, it is a raging river. But nonetheless, guys, you got to shore that fucking that hole up and something. But here's the crazy shit. So it gets better. It gets better. With that being said, guys, we have this border crisis that is now nuclear. The Democrats motherfuck Trump for wanting to handle the problem or fix the problem. They said he was being xenophobic or racist. Okay. So then when he wanted to build this wall, again, Democrats, some Republicans were laughing at him and saying, ha ha ha, you're not going to build this wall. That's a stupid idea. Why would you want to stop people from coming in? All right. That being said, guys, we have an astronomical problem of illegals coming into this country, and they're saying some shit like they said 2 million illegals snuck into this country last year. I thought that number was way the fuck off. I thought it was a lot higher, but that's the number that was thrown out. They think that the number this year would be on deck for 5 million illegals crossing the border. I think 2 million sounds about right, but they're saying about 5 million this year will be on deck to coming into this country. With that, guys, the New York City mayor declared a state of emergency to respond to the immigrant crisis that's collapsing the system here. The asylum system that New York had, the safe haven system, right, that they had here, um, is no longer. They can't take any more immigrants here. Supposedly, New York City has gotten 17,000 immigrants, and they don't know where to put these 17,000 immigrants. Linda, yes, 2 million they know about. 2 million there's probably more that got away. You're right about that. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Right, but again, guys, that's the number I read. I'm pretty sure it's higher than 2 million, but that's the number I got. Anyway, with that, guys, so Eric Adams had a video on CBS, I think it was. I was just watching it before the Angry Truth channel, and he sat there and he says, "Well, these people they need a medical attention and care and shelter." Back to fucking Mexico you go. And I know, guys, not all of them from Mexico. A lot of them are from Central America, and a few are from South America as well. Nonetheless, you can't sit there, break President Trump's balls about this, and now it's biting you in the ass, and now you're asking for federal help. Kathy Hochul and Eric Adams are asking for federal funding to help with this problem. 17,000 illegal immigrants in this country, guys, is a fucking in this city. Sorry, is a problem. Where are you going to shelter them? For those of you that don't know, that don't live in New York City has a housing problem as it is. They had this housing problem forever, and I remember being in EMT, and there was a place on Hamilton Ave that's a little up the blocks from me. It's a big, giant shelter system. It's a giant fucking building. It takes up a whole square block, and this building has homeless people. Not home. All right, they have homeless people in it, but they're not homeless like vagrants. They're homeless like they don't have a home. So anyway, this place, guys, it's fucking. When I was in EMT, it was asinine because not the people in it, but the way the city had the system built or set up then was asinine. What they would do, for example, so I would be homeless and I'm in this homeless shelter. And every fucking week, I would have to take all my shit out with me, carry it over to the Bronx, where they assign you a homeless shelter to go to. The stupid thing was they would tell you to take your shit, leave the fucking place. You would take everything with you. You go to the Bronx. You sit there for fucking 8 hours, letting some asshole berate you until they give you a place to go. Guess where they told these people to go back to? They told these people to go back to the fucking place they just left 8 hours ago. That they were there the whole week. This system was going on for a couple of years, and then they got smart and told these people, stay put. If you have to move, or we put you somewhere else, or an actual home or apartment becomes available, we will place you into that actual apartment. So that was the asinine thing. It was ass backwards if I ever seen it. So hopefully they changed it. But that was when I was in EMT. But now, even now, they still have a fucking problem. They still have an abundance of people inside these homeless shelters looking for homes with their kids. A lot of places had to. A lot of places were women's shelters. And so what women were doing was saying that they were battered and they were being placed into these shelters. A couple of days later, they would sneak their boyfriends into the shelter or their husband into the shelter, and their husband would start staying in the shelter with them in a fucking abused shelter. This fucking thing caught on, and then I started going into one shelter right before I left, and it was nothing but dudes coming out of here. And I looked at the guard, I'm like, what the fuck gives? She's like, they beat the system. They learn how to play the system, because if you're abused, you get a shelter like almost right away. If anything bad happened to you, you get a shelter almost right away. So these women had to fake being abused to get fucking shelter, and then they bring their boyfriends or their husbands in like a couple days later, or sneak them in, but they really didn't sneak them in. They wind up staying there. So then that became a thing. So now you have this shelter problem. You have New York citizens that need to be placed somewhere. You're gonna take 17,000 immigrants and put them where? Skip the line? Fuck out of here. So that's not happening, because it would turn into a fucking war. It would turn into a fist fight at one of these facilities if you let some fucking guy Pablo, who walked fucking 100 miles or so to this country, broke every law on the way here, coming here to this country, and then gets fucking 3 hots in a cot. Fuck out of here. So with that, that's where Eric Adams was running into a problem. Now, the Eric Adams was looking to get a Norwegian cruise liner to park its ass in the Hudson River, and they were going to start putting immigrants in there. They said Eric Adams scrapped the idea. I'm pretty fucking sure he didn't scrap the idea. I'm 1,000% sure Norwegian Cruise Liner was like, no, that's stupid. We're not putting all these people on our boats. And then what? How are you going to feed them? Logistically, that's a logistical nightmare, guys. A logistical nightmare, putting immigrants on a boat, illegal immigrants on a boat, and then trying to feed them and give them all of the services that they need on this boat. So the idea was scrapped by fucking Eric Adams. The fuck it was. Yes, Adriana, thank you for bringing that up. So he was also going to use Orchard Beach, and I know a lot of you heard me say this, right? He was using Orchard Beach to set up tents. Well, guess what? He's not using it anymore. He's not using Orchard Beach anymore because of the flooding issue, right? Um, that saying, and you guys corrected me the other day. That saying, measure twice, cut once. They measured 1,000 times and warned him 1,000 times about the flooding, and he said the flooding's not an issue. It's just puddling. Well, when it rained this past weekend, they saw the flooding, and they were like, "Shit, we can't use this." Randall's Island. So they put him in Randall's Island, which is right across the street from the fire department's headquarters, or training facility. Sorry, the fire department headquarters is in Brooklyn. So now that they have these illegals going to Econ Stadium, which is a stadium on Randall's Island, right across the way from the fire department training facility, that's not going to be a big issue because there's nothing for them to steal there at the training facility. And they're just going to beef up the security around the FD's training facility. So it's not a big problem. But still, what's going to happen come wintertime, guys? Econ Stadium is fucking open. And there is a nice low cut of buildings right where Econ Stadium is. So when that fucking cold comes off the Hudson and the East River at the same time, these people are going to be frozen to death. They would have been frozen to death at Orchard Beach. Now they're even closer, not that even closer, but they're just about as close to the water as they were in Orchard Beach, except for it's fucking cold over there. When I was training 17 years ago at the Rock, it was fucking brick cold. I'm pretty sure my fucking nuts fell off a couple times. It was so cold. So now you're going to put people there? So be it. And then their excuses, well, we're putting them there because it's closer to the train. It's closer to the train by a bus. So they have to get on a bus to cross the bridge back in Manhattan to use the train. I mean, it's a lot closer than, no, actually it's the same distance like Orchard Beach. You go to Orchard Beach, you can get on a bus, puts you at the 6th train. You get on a bus. The first train stop is the 4 and the 5 train on 125th Street. Again, straight fucking nightmare. So now, Eric Adams makes this announcement. He goes, "This is a humanitarian crisis that started with violence and instability in South America and is becoming accelerated by American politics dynamics." Keep in mind, guys, he and many other Democrats were the same fucking politicians to politicize this and make this into a political battle. He calls it a humanitarian crisis that started with violence and instability. Guess what? If those fucking sacks of shit, the dudes who came to this country, can't fight for their country, why should we take in fucking sackless nutsacks? Sackless nutsacks, whatever. Why should we be taking them in? But nonetheless, we are. Thousands of asylum seekers have been busted in New York City and simply dropped without notice, coordination, or care. And more are arriving every day. I gotta go downtown and see this fucking mess. Anyway, Eric Adams is also stating that New York City will be spending by the end of this year $1 billion on the crisis, he calls it. It's a humanitarian crisis, but it's not our problem. Again, catapults or buses or planes, give them a parachute if you want, and throw them out the plane, back to the fucking country. Simple. You know, I mean, it's fucking as simple as that, man. I don't know how much more simpler it needs to get. Send them back home. It's not our fucking problems that they're going through these problems. We are not the lifeboat of the world. What happens, guys, when you have too many people on a lifeboat? You capsize the lifeboat, right? So you can't take every fucking last immigrant coming here. Supposedly, there are Russians that are trying to come to the United States now because they don't want to fucking fight over there. We have Russians coming here. Supposedly, 2 Russians used a boat to get to Alaska, and they're seeking asylum on that end. And then you have Russians who are trying to get on planes here to the United States. So now, the enemy of the world are having Russian people come here seeking asylum. You figure that shit out. You figure that shit out. How a lot of the Putin lovers are like, oh, Russians don't like Americans. They don't want this, they don't want that. Motherfuckers are coming here and seeking asylum. So again, how bad are we? I don't want to go down that road because it's just going to piss me off. But anyway, So now we have AOC, right? What's her name? Oscar Cortez, Alexandria Oscar Cortez. I hate calling her AOC because it's like lazy. But anyway, Alexandria Oscar Cortez ripped into Eric Adams about the tents in her district when the tent city was in her district. Interestingly enough, guys, Eric Adams says we're going to leave the tent cities at Orchard Beach. Oscar Cortez rips into him about having immigrants in her district when she was for these people coming here. Keep in mind, guys, Oscar was for these people coming here. And then all of a sudden the bitch was like, whoa, that's too close to here. It's in my backyard. We can't have this. We have to find a better solution. This is what she said. We need to find a better solution. Well, motherfucker, you were crying on a gate somewhere in out west, staging that stupidness where you were crying on a gate looking at fucking nothing, and he staged himself crying, and that was fine. And you motherfuck Trump every step of the way when he wanted to stop them from coming here, but now all of a sudden it's in your backyard and it's the problem? Prep Rebel, a hypocrite isn't the word. She's worse than a hypocrite. Then you have Kamala Harris and the rest of them saying, well, you know what? This whole nation, we're a nation of immigrants. We should take them all in. Now they're arriving near her home and she's not happy. They go to the fucking Democratic delight of Martha's Vineyard and they weren't happy. But all these people wanted these fucking illegals to come here. But now that they're ending up in their backyard, they don't like it and they want something to change. Now they're calling for Biden to do something about it. Actually, they want Biden to now continue to build the wall. Now, he made that comment. Biden made the comment about building the wall a couple of weeks ago. Now they look like they're going to go into overdrive about building this wall and stopping this problem. Now, again, the easy solution for the problem, guys, is boat, bus, plane, catapult back to their country. Just send them back, guys. Fuck them. They're not our problem. Their problem is not our problem. People are like, well, they're fighting over there and the drug dealers are clipping their nuts. Not our problem. Not our fucking problem. If something happened here in the United States and we ran there, they'd probably be telling us the same fucking thing. William Ashley made a good point. Latin America is mostly socialist, so only money-oriented, self-interest folks are likely fleeing, so they might vote Republican. I think a lot of them might. There is a switch in the Hispanic community and black community as far as voting Democrats. There's a huge switch happening right now as we speak. The Republicans are panicking. I mean, the Democrats are panicking because they're losing a lot of their base. A lot of their base is switching over to the dark side. I will stay conservative. I will not say I'm Republican. I'm still registered Democrat for reasons that allows me to vote in certain elections that Republicans can't vote in. That's why I stay a Democrat. But I will always tell somebody I'm a conservative, but I'm a registered Democrat, if that makes sense. A lot of people, guys, are switching. A lot of, at least the black and Spanish are switching. Especially a lot of black folks that are finding out what Biden was before he became president of the United States. They found out what this man was and all the shit he said. I'm surprised none of this came out when he was running fucking vice president with Obama. Adriana said she was a Democrat, left the party in 2016. I was a Democrat too, and I said nope when I became an EMT in 2000. Right? So in 2000, I became an EMT. My first 3 months of being an EMT on the street and watching the bullshit go on, I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? I'm like, what happened to the brotherly love and black power and what the fuck? And then your eyes are open. You become a city worker and your eyes are open and you see the city for what it really is. And you see the pandering of the Democrats for what it really is. And then you're like, shit, this is bad. So I switched. I woke up and I switched. You know? I thought the Democratic Party was a fair party, and it used to be a long time ago, but they stopped being fair. They just lost their fucking mind. I try to stay as fair as I possibly can. But whatever. So, guys, with that being said, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. ABC Patriot. Who do I think is pulling Biden's strings? I would say his wife, or at the very least, they are communicating to his wife. But I'm not sure. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell. I wanted to say Hillary Clinton, but there was something Hillary Clinton did a few months ago, and I was like, that's not her. So yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, his wife seems more to be it, or at least they're talking to his wife to tell him to say certain things. But I don't know. His wife, the military. The military could be it too, but not. If it was the military, I think we would have already been nuking Russia. I know there are a couple fucking die-hard military generals that have want fucking war. Their dicks get hard at the sound of war. They're like, oh my God, that sound like war? And their dicks are hard. So I don't think it's them. Um, but I don't know. The globalists, yeah, but which globalist? I mean, who? Klaus Schwab? It's somebody closer than that. It's somebody that's really close to him. It can't be somebody from fucking in another room. It has to be somebody who's right next to him that's pulling the strings. The high elites. Yeah, I don't know if it's Biden. I don't know if it's Obama either, man. Because there's shit that Obama has taken issue with Biden, and something a week or two ago in the news, something about he disagrees with something Biden said. So if he's the puppet master, how do you disagree with your own puppet? I know ventriloquists do it all the time, but in this case, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Michael Jackson? Yeah, could be. Could be Michael Jackson. Shit. Could be aliens. I don't know. Kamala Harris, yeah, right. She's too stupid to make any decision. Rice could be it. Could be. But again, it's somebody very close to him, like on his ass close. Like standing next to him close. I don't think it's like I said, it could be wife or it could be somebody else. Big Mike. Definitely not Big Mike. And those man hands. You seen Michelle Obama's hands, how big those things are? Come on, guys. That's a dude. That is a fucking dude. I don't want to get started on that conversation again. I had guys in my firehouse like, that's not a dude. I'm like, it's a dude. It's got a dick. I mean, like, look at the videos. But what is that thing swinging in her pants? Her fucking diabetic machine? What is that? Like, I mean, like, whatever. I want to go down the road again. Don't start me the whole Big Mike bullshit. But, yeah, I personally think Michelle Obama's a dude. But whatever. Kamala's blowing Biden. No fucking way. No way is Kamala Harris doing that with Biden. Biden wouldn't even know what to do with it. The crackhead son. I don't know. The crackhead son, I think, is too stupid. He's an idiot. He's a moron. But that's not the point. I don't think it's him either. It's somebody that we can't see. That's who it is. And that's what I've been thinking for a while. It's somebody that we can't see. That's somebody that's not on camera. It's not any. Listen, whoever it is, we won't see them. And it's smart to stay out of the cameras and off to the side or whatever. But we will never see who's controlling him right now. That's normally how it works. You don't see the puppet master ever. The diabetic machine. Like I said, I know she doesn't have diabetes, but you guys got to see the video, guys. It's on there. You got to Google the shit. You gotta go. What is it called? I think like Michelle Obama's tool or object in her pants or some shit like that, and it'll come up. You'll see it. You'll see her doing this. You'll see her doing this dance, and you see this thing moving. So whatever. Not gonna get into it, but it's a dude, right? And again, videos, guys. Videos of Obama saying, Michael and I. He referred to them as Michael and I twice. He said it. Actually, he said it 3 times in 3 different interviews. Called Michelle Obama Michael. Okay, so again, it's still a conspiracy theory. Yes, Sergeant Rudy was on the Ellen show when she was doing that dance, right, with the nut sack swinging, right, or the dick, whatever the hell it was in that pants. There was something moving around, and I'm pretty sure it was a fucking, a dick or balls. Or could, like I said, it could be her blood pressure diabetic machine. I don't know. But whatever. Like I said, that's one of the conspiracy theories I fucking stick to wholeheartedly. Other conspiracy theory guys, I'm like, I don't know. This one, hard and fast, man. Those are dicks and balls in her pants. That's all I'm going to say. But yes, I heard about Joan Rivers. Everybody said as soon as she said that about Joan Rivers, she was dead. The problem with Joan Rivers, guys, is she was 1,000 years old. So that could be coincidence, and it's less likely not a coincidence because of the timing of it and the Clinton killings and all that other shit. But nonetheless, she was 1,001 years old. So you have to sort of weigh that into it. When someone's 1,010 years old, guys, they just fucking they could die at any minute. Like they're on a fucking time schedule. So again, um, something to what you call it, something to think about with that anyway. I saw the video with her. Yes, in the swinging app. Thank you, Sherry. You see, listen, I try to show guys in the firehouse that video, and guys are like, no. I'm like, then what is that? Explain to me what the fuck is that in her pants? Stop. I'm like, sorry, man. I mean, and again, a couple years ago when I showed my wife the video, I had this conversation with the wife. My wife's like, no, that's not true. I showed her the video, and she goes, and my wife takes the phone out of my hand. She's looking at it. And she's like, it does look like there's something there. I go, a dick. And she's like, I don't know. So we look at two other videos, and she's like, it's got to be. I said, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's, whatever. Listen, Mars Gate, everybody else, Obama's grandmother stated that he was gay, that he was dating some guy out of Georgetown in D.C., that is. Was it Georgetown or was it Chicago? Maybe it was Georgetown. They moved to Chicago. Whatever it was, guys. And then some people will say, well, they have two daughters. There's a whole nother conspiracy theory about their daughters that line up, guys. I'm telling you, line up. And when you look at the two other people that are involved with the two daughters being their daughters, those kids look like them. That's all I'm going to say. Because if you look at the kids, they look nothing like their parents. Zero. But and they're older now, so they have more established faces. They don't look like neither of their parents. So again, look up there's a conspiracy theory video on it on YouTube, I think, about the kids, Michelle Obama and Obama's daughters. There's a theory about them. I'm like, holy shit, it's pretty spot on. And the two people that were involved or had the kids are both dead or died in a car accident. Huh? So think about that. Zero, not their kids. So again, just something to think about. My name is Michael, and I'm running for Vice President of the United States. Whatever. I know the parents of their daughters. Next time we talk, I will talk. All right, Vision. Very good. Yeah, again, that's the guys. That is the fucking story. The one conspiracy theory story I stick with to this day. Others I'll waver on. I'll be like, yeah, I'm open to other interpretations. This one, Duckman, yeah, Soros. I don't know. Again, it's somebody you cannot see, but it's there. They have to be there. Soros can't be there, and you can't tell Biden anything because he tells the world, right? The whole pipeline thing, when Biden made that fucking speech about the pipeline, that wasn't supposed to get out. When you speak about the Nord Stream pipeline too, which, guys, I personally believe, I don't know who bombed it. Does it sound like the Americans bombed it? Yes. But the Russians also have a reason to bomb it as well, or self-sabotage, if you will, to start some shit. So you have to keep that in mind. So Russia has, in the past, in their history, self-sabotage and set up things to make it look like the enemy did it to start war. The United States has done it multiple times as well. So has Canada, I think once or twice. The UK, can't count. China does it all the time. That being said, when it comes to the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, we have to keep an open mind for now until it's confirmed. That being said, guys, and the reason why I say keep an open mind, the Nord Stream pipeline 2 is in the Baltic Sea. The Baltic Sea is Russian territory as far as subs go. So submarines up and down the Baltic Sea or in the Baltic Sea area will give a different story. Not the point. When Biden spoke about attacking the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, that was not supposed to be said out in the open. But he said it out in the open. They can't tell this man shit anymore. Because when he said it, they were like, well, that's not what he meant. No, that's what he meant. And Germany second that move, if you will. But when you look at the reasons why Russia would do it too, now it leaves it open for interpretation, if you will. Until we find proof, right now, I'm just saying one of the two obviously did it, but for what reason? Yes, Mo Prepper, you're right. Either way, we may never know. You're right. All right, Northern Girl Hobbies. I'm gonna jump off the air anyway. I gotta go for my late night walk. I gotta get my rings closed. So yeah, I'm gonna go for my late night walk, and I will see a lot of you guys next week. Let's see. Let's see who we have on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we have on Cold War Prepper, and then we have the 18th. We have Hill Country Prepper, and I know I'm supposed to have prepping with Sargon soon. I gotta find that email. Then I have Prepper Nerd on November 1st and Bushcraft Doctor Survival November 8th. But I know I'm supposed to have Prepping with Sargon soon, and Heroic Prepper I'm supposed to have on soon as well. So I'm waiting to hear back from both of them, unless I fuck that up. Other than that, guys, thank you for the donation. Sorry. Thank you for following me over here. Thank you for watching. And yes, guys, if I wind up dead, that's because Michelle Obama has a dick. Good night.